Hey, yo, what is up, my good peoples? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I am here once again to bring you another Dumb as Hell video. And this time, we're going to be reviewing the Marvels What If, and on this episode is episode 6, What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark. Now, for a little bit of a synopsis of this episode, IMDb says this episode of What If Killmonger rescues Tony Stark when his Humvee is attacked in Afghanistan and manipulates his influence for his designs of conquering Wakanda. Um, as far as this episode goes, I as I kind of do with all these episodes, I don't really go in trying to figure out what this episode is about and which one is it. I think they do trailers for each one of these episodes before they pop up, so I kind of don't look at the trailers for these at all because kind of want to go in surprise a little bit and not knowing what's going on and stuff like that. But I kind of knew this was a Killmonger episode, but we're gonna, as I always do, I separate these into four parts. I start off with my expectations overall going in, my overall positives, overall mixed feelings, and then I give a review score. Um, as far as this episode coming in, my expectations were pretty medium. I liked the last episode with the zombie one. I thought that was really good. Probably my second favorite episode. And this one, I was just happy to see a lot of the cast back. I knew Chadwick Boseman was going to be in this episode. I knew Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan was going to be in this episode. I had no idea of everybody else. I knew that the guy playing Tony Stark wasn't going to be Robert Downey Jr., so I was interested to see how they did with that voice. And to start off with my first positives, man, I'm just happy to see these people back. Like, Michael B. Jordan does a great Killmonger. I never really read him in the comic books, so I don't know too much about the character from the comics. I read a little bit after the after I saw the movie, and I got to see a little bit more. But here, man, this dude does a really good job of just. Oh, and I forgot to say this, but this is gonna be spoilers, man. I know no other way to talk about these episodes without spoiling them, so I'm going to spoil the hell out of these episodes. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan, this episode was really good. I really enjoyed a lot of his acting, especially the voice work and stuff like that. He has a subtle tone voice and everything. Um, I really enjoyed how a lot of the things that he was doing with the character and stuff like that, the way he was working off of the guy playing Tony Stark or working off the people of Wakanda and everything, that was really dope. I like Chadwick Boseman being back. He had a little scene that I really enjoyed. And also just like at the beginning, you kind of get this whole thing of them going through the arc of Tony Stark and stuff like that, showing him, in Afghanistan and everything, and then ending with this little scene right here from Endgame. I really enjoyed that stuff. And then you get to see them come back to uh, Afghanistan and everything, and see Michael B. Jordan save Tony Stark and everything like that. I thought it had a pretty good start. It was a pretty slow for me a little bit, but I thought it started pretty good, and I kind of enjoyed a lot of that. I would say that another thing I really enjoyed was just the chemistry between Tony Stark and Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. I thought they had a pretty good chill chemistry. You kind of always had the little bit of feeling that Tony Stark and them, they were going to kind of go butt heads a little bit. Not really in a sense of they weren't going to get along, but there was going to be a point in which Killmonger was going to betray Tony Stark and stuff like that. I like everything that they were doing, going up to building the robots and all that stuff, and I pretty much enjoyed a lot of that. I liked seeing Black Panther back here. He was really dope. I liked a lot of the scenes they had with here, dude. One of the great things about What If currently is that the way they shoot a lot of the scenes, the way they use color, the way they use shadows, the way they use lighting, how the animation is in the show sometimes is really entertaining, really fun, especially for a style of CG that I'm not particularly a fan of. They do a pretty damn good job of that stuff, and I pretty enjoyed it. Um, as far as other things, I liked seeing Black Panther in the ancestral plane. I thought that was pretty dope. I think I have a picture of that here. Give me one second. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I love seeing this and stuff like that. Having the conversation between Killmonger and Black Panther as they're in the ancestral plane once he Killmonger kills Black Panther and the rest of the people. I really enjoyed that and stuff. And that's kind of where my positives end on this episode. There were some things like the action scenes in Wakanda that I also enjoyed and stuff like that. But to get to the mixed feelings part, I would say the thing that I was mixed on the most about this episode was just definitely the way it ended. I thought that there was some dope scenes and stuff like that with the end and coming off of the big battle and stuff. But it kind of ending with just this middle of the road spot where um, Shuri comes from Wakanda and she basically tells Pepper Potts that, yo, I know what Killmonger is doing. I know what he did. We're going to try to get him back and try to save Wakanda. I enjoyed that part and I enjoyed the build up to that, but just for it to end right there was very, very much anticlimactic. Like it felt like this was the part where the story was actually getting really good and really getting set off. The pacing throughout the episode was pretty good and it kept it pretty chill, even though things were moving very quickly. I still enjoyed the pacing of the episode, but when it ended there, it kind of ruined the episode for me a little bit. I still thought this episode was a pretty okay episode, but that ending kind of ruined it for me. And I would also say that some of the animation here wasn't fairly like my favorite of the series. There were parts with Tony Stark that his character was a little bit stiff, but there was also like the animation that was really good. Like some of the fight scenes, those were good. You could tell, like, all animators kind of know that some scenes get given to the really good animators and they have them do those, or the really good animation team have them do those, and some get sent to some okay animators and they do the probably more quiet scenes or scenes that doesn't have that much movement in them. There were a couple scenes where you could tell that that was that animation team and it was a little bit stiff. It wasn't bad in no way, but as an animator myself, I kind of noticed that type of things. But yeah, that was another thing that I wasn't like, kind of wish the animation was a little bit more fluent throughout and kept the same consistency. Um, I also would say that General Ross's appearance in this show wasn't necessarily my favorite thing here, especially the way that he kind of just took over towards the end. I've never been a fan of General Ross as far as the MCU is concerned. I think that he hasn't been the over the top General Ross that he is in the comics, and he's fine, but not as really like this big villain that he was in the comics, to where like this man was legitimately crazy and he was trying to kill people and stuff like that. They kind of do it here, but they don't take it all the way. And yeah, I would say also another mixed feeling I have is I wasn't feeling how they killed everybody in this episode. I think I got a picture of one of them. Ah, here it is. I just wasn't a feeling of Iron Man's death here. I thought that even though I liked that he was betraying Killmonger was betraying Iron Man and stuff, and how he did it, I wasn't a fan of him dying in this way. I would have kind of loved it if he had kind of captured Iron Man or something like that, and kept him hostage to make him create more stuff for him and something like that. I thought that would have been way more of an interesting idea. It ending with Tony Stark being captured and no one knows where he's at, and now Killmonger's trying to help find him, and he's going to Wakanda to try to save Tony Stark or something like that. That would have probably been a little bit more interesting to me. And also them killing Chadwick Boseman, even though I like the ancestral plane stuff, the death on the whole I thought was a little bit too quickly, especially for a character that's as powerful as Black Panther. I didn't really enjoy that, and also the way he died with this little beam cannon, I wasn't too sure. Like I'm sitting there watching it, like, is this how Black Panther dies? It seems a little bit too easy. It seems a little like, oh, this is a strong ass character. It doesn't seem like this simple thing should kill him in this way, especially if he still has his powers and everything. But yeah, this was an episode that I enjoyed for the most part. It wasn't bad in any way. It was just kind of middle of the road for me. And for that, I kind of give it a 3 stars out of 5. I don't know if I've ranked any of it, not ranked, but given a score for any of these episodes so far. I got to go back and watch. But if I didn't, this is my first one. I give this episode 3 out of 5. I'm still enjoying the show, but this one is probably my least favorite out of all of them. I think that episode 3 before this was my least favorite. The one where it was the all the Avengers being killed. That was kind of my least favorite before, but this one kind of took the cake for me. I loved going back to Wakanda. I love hearing Killmonger's theme song all throughout the episode. That I loved the music from Black Panther and stuff like that. All that was dope, but there were just some things here that I just didn't like that much, and it just didn't stick with me. Hopefully, we do get more of this episode for season 2, and we kind of go dive deeper into that. But I don't know, and yeah, so. Thank you for watching, man. I'm gonna try to get another review out soon. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.